the violence. They'll do it. Israelis will do it. They don't want any nonviolent movements. They can't handle nonviolence. They can handle violence. They're really good at it. They've been doing it for centuries. They're really good at it. Nobody's better at violence than the Europeans. And by extension, Abna'uhum al-American. Nobody's better. Bernard Lewis said, Western people forget the real reason they're ruling the planet is because they have perfected the art of widespread massacre. Nobody can massacre people like the Western people. Muslims would have never developed an atomic bomb. They had to learn that from another group of people. They would have never developed the atomic bomb because لا يعذب بالنار إلا رب النار. You can't punish people with fire except the Lord of fire. He's the only one who can do that. That's his ta'deeb. It's not our ta'deeb. You can't burn people. And that's why it was prohibited in our rules of engagement to light fires and kill people by fire. It's prohibited. And nuclear, I mean, you burn them alive. The people that survive have burns all over their body. I mean, if you see some of the survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it's horrible. So who would do that? So they can handle violence. That's why if you look at the Indian movement against the British, a lot of those were Muslim scholars were involved in that. Study that movement. Like Maulana Azad. He actually grew up in Mecca. He had his own tafsir of the Quran. But he was very close to Gandhi. He didn't see it as contradictory to his own religion because it was pragmatic. Khan Abdul Ghaffur, right? Do people know these names? Who's Khan Abdul Ghaffur? Yeah, he was a friend of Gandhi's, and they called him the Gandhi of the frontiers. He was a Pathan. But they brought the British Empire to their knees with nonviolence. And whenever violence started to break out, they all rushed in to stop it. Because the British, that's what they wanted. They wanted violence. And you know, one of the turning points was when the massacre they did where they just shot a bunch of unarmed protesters. It had a massive impact in England. And this is what people forget. You know, Americans are human beings. Europeans are human beings. Even doesn't matter what the situation. If they see somebody being killed without any justification, no, they get upset. Even if they see animals being harmed cruelly, they get really upset, more than humans. They really get upset. But if you're shooting rockets, that just gives them an excuse. Oh, well, that's what they have to do. What else are they going to do? Let's give them $250 million just to make sure those rockets don't kill anybody, other than that poor little Arab guy that was out in his field and the guy from Thailand. Right? Those are the only two people that killed by the rockets. Really effective strategy. Just give an excuse to kill people. إنكم قوم تستعجلون. Khabbab. All the other Muslims were hiding their faith.